Picture this. Yuri standing in your front yard having a lovely day when all of a sudden the ground begins to shake. You look around and see huge amounts of dust billowing into the air. Then out of the corner of your eye, you see something moving amongst the dust. It's big, it's hairy, and it's coming right for you. As it gets closer, you can make out two glowing red eyes staring directly at you. Before you can react, it lunges and knocks you over. The creature begins to growl, baring its sharp teeth. This is it, you think as you brace for impact. But then, just as quickly as it appeared, it disappears back into the dust. You sit there stunned for a moment before slowly getting to your feet and brushing yourself off. What was that? You wonder, shaking your head. It must have been some kind of wild animal, you tell yourself, trying to convince yourself that you're safe. But deep down, you know that whatever that was, it's out there somewhere and you were only lucky to escape its clutches. Welcome back, everyone, to the channel. Today, we're going to take a journey back in time and explore what life was like millions of years ago. We'll discover how prehistoric humans survived and thrived in an era dominated by fearsome creatures and natural disasters. Life millions of years ago was a terrifying ordeal. Picture this. You're making your way through the dense jungle when you hear a blood-curdling roar. You freeze in your tracks and slowly turn around to face the source of the noise. There in the distance, you see a massive creature unlike anything you've ever seen before. Its skin is thick and scaly, its eyes are cold and reptilian, and its teeth are long and sharp. You know instinctively that this creature is a predator and you're its prey. You turn and run, adrenaline pumping through your veins as you try to escape its grasp. But the creature is too fast for you. It closes in quickly, and before you know it, you're trapped in its sights. This is the end, you think, as it prepares to strike. But then suddenly, just as it's about to deliver the fatal blow, the ground beneath your feet begins to shake. The creature looks up, startled by the commotion, and gives you a chance to escape. You don't hesitate. You dart away as fast as you can, disappearing into the safety of the trees. You don't stop running until you're deep in the jungle, panting heavily and with your heart pounding in your chest. You knew you had been lucky to escape the creature's clutches. But now you're faced with a new dilemma. Where do you go from here? You don't know the area well, and you're not sure where you can find food or shelter. Plus, you know that the creature could be lurking nearby, waiting for you to make a mistake. You feel exhausted and vulnerable, and you can't help but shiver as you think about the creature as cold, reptilian eyes staring at you from the darkness. You know that you have to keep moving if you want to survive, but where do you go, and how do you defend yourself against such a powerful predator? The truth is that life millions of years ago was a constant struggle for survival. The world was filled with danger at every turn, whether it was a hungry predator or a devastating natural disaster. But humans were incredibly resilient, and they learned to adapt and overcome any obstacle that stood in their way. They developed tools to hunt animals, shelter to protect them from the elements, and weapons to defend themselves against attacks. And despite the constant threat of danger, they managed to thrive and eventually become the dominant species on Earth. So while it may seem like a scary thought, it's important to remember that humans have always been capable of amazing things. And even in the face of unimaginable danger, they have always found a way to survive and conquer. So the next time you feel like your life is too hard or your problems are too great, just remember that you are part of a long line of survivors who have overcome even greater challenges than yours. You have the strength and resilience to overcome anything life throws your way. But let's continue our journey back in time and see what other horrors awaited our primitive ancestors. Imagine this. You're traveling with your group of fellow humans through a dense forest when suddenly the ground begins to tremble beneath your feet. You look around and see that the trees are swaying violently. Then you hear a loud crack that seems to split the sky itself in two. You look up and see a giant boulder hurtling towards you from the top of a nearby mountain. You try to move out of the way, but it's too late. The boulder crashes down on you and everything goes black. Welcome to the Age of Giants, where nature itself seems to conspire against humanity every step of the way. Just imagine being chased by a woolly mammoth, only to trip over a fallen tree and break your leg. Or picture yourself trying to build a fire for warmth and protection, only to have it extinguished by a sudden downpour of rain. These prehistoric giants didn't care about our plans or our dreams. They were too busy carving their own paths through the wilderness. These giants weren't just big and strong. They were also highly intelligent creatures. They used their size and strength to their advantage, often ganging up on their prey and using their tusks and claws to tear their victims to shreds. But they weren't just mindless killing machines. They were also highly intelligent creatures capable of complex social interactions and emotions. Imagine coming face to face with a giant woolly mammoth and seeing a flicker of intelligence in its eyes, a brief moment of connection between two very different species before the chase begins anew. But life wasn't just filled with giant monsters, it was also full of other dangers. Volcanoes erupted, causing widespread destruction and death. Floods swept across the land, washing away entire settlements and leaving people stranded in the wreckage. Earthquakes shook the ground, causing buildings to collapse and whole cities to be buried in rubble. Even the weather was a threat, with blizzards, droughts, and heat waves all taking their toll on human populations. In the face of these challenges, humans had to be resourceful and adaptable. They learned to build shelters that could withstand the worst of the storms. They developed tools to help them hunt and gather food, and they formed communities to support each other through the tough times. It was a struggle to survive, but humans persevered. They learned to live in harmony with the giants and to respect the power of nature. They learned to harness the power of the sun, wind, and water to their advantage, and to use the resources of the earth to build their homes and sustain their lives. It was a difficult path, but ultimately it led to the creation of thriving civilizations that would go on to shape the course of history. But what if I told you that the story doesn't end there? What if there's more to this prehistoric world than meets the eye? Deep in the heart of the jungle, hidden from the eyes of modern man, lies a secret that has been waiting to be discovered for millennia. An ancient temple made of stone monoliths so tall and imposing that they seem to reach up and touch the heavens. It has a place where the veil between the physical and spiritual realms is said to be at its thinnest, allowing those who enter to commune with the spirits of the ancients and unlock the secrets of the universe. The temple is adorned with intricate carvings depicting scenes from a time long past, stories of the giants and their battles with the forces of good and evil. Some say that the carvings hold the key to unlocking the secrets of the giants, revealing their origins and their ultimate fate. Others believe that the temple itself is a giant structure, a monument to a civilization that predates recorded history and whose knowledge and wisdom were lost to the ravages of time. But the temple is not without its dangers. Many have tried to enter and explore its mysteries, but few have ever come back to tell the tale. Some say that the temple is guarded by spirits that will stop at nothing to protect their domain from intruders. Others claim that the very stones of the temple are alive, pulsating with an energy that can be felt deep in the bones of those who dare to approach. Yet, despite the danger, the allure of the temple is too great to resist for many. Explorers, archaeologists, and New Age travelers have braved the treacherous jungle and the wrath of the elements to reach the temple and uncover its secrets. And some say that they have been forever changed by their experience. Whether you believe in the mystical properties of the temple or not, one thing is certain: the discovery of such a site would be a game changer for historians and archaeologists alike. It would provide an unprecedented glimpse into a world that existed long before recorded history, and help us to understand the origins of humanity and the forces that have shaped our world. So who knows, maybe the secrets of the prehistoric giants are waiting to be uncovered in an ancient temple hidden deep in the jungle. All it takes is one brave soul to venture into the unknown and unlock the mysteries of the past. But for now, we can only imagine what secrets lie dormant, waiting to be discovered. And so, our journey through the Age of Giants comes to an end. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the incredible creatures that roamed the Earth millions of years ago. It's amazing to think that these magnificent beasts once roamed free, shaping the world around them and inspiring awe and wonder in those who encountered them. But it's also important to remember that these giants didn't just vanish into thin air. Their extinction was a tragic event that marked a turning point in the history of our planet. It serves as a reminder that even the most powerful and majestic creatures can be wiped out by the changing conditions of our world. As we look back on the Age of Giants, let's take inspiration from their strength and resilience, but also learn from their mistakes. Let us strive to live in harmony with the natural world and appreciate the beauty and wonder of the planet we call home. Who knows what other amazing creatures might be out there waiting to be discovered? All we have to do is keep exploring and keep our minds open to the possibilities.